always something going on that we have to be alert to and be excited about. Welcome. I want you to go ahead and hit that share button and invite some of your people over to this exciting conversation today. And it's always a blessing to be in the land of the living, and most of all, to be where God intended us to be. And that's for sure. But nevertheless, I'm going to continue to bring you information that help motivate, think positive, and know that God has put you in charge of your life. And we got to stop giving away our energy and giving people power over us. And when you give people power over you, they block your blessing. And that's why I do this show, to let you know, you might slow me down, but God is never going to let me fail. And today we're going to be talking about a couple of things last week we was talking about the District 10-1, and there's another meeting coming up Monday, April the 17th from 6:30 to 8, and that's going to be at Green Run High School in Virginia Beach. So I want to hope that y'all be able to come out, because they do give you an opportunity to voice your opinion. And that is all about, coming out and being able to recognize that you have an opportunity to get at least 3 minutes. You get there early enough, because I don't never know how many people are going to be signing up. But if you get there early enough, that you will be able to sign up, and they will give you 3 minutes at this event so that you can show your concerns and what it's all about with you, about what you think should be done with the voting, the way to vote now, the right to vote, the way we have it today. And that's the key component when doing something, is just that we have to be diligent in our community service, especially when it comes to our young people. Because really, if you take a look at it and really think about it, as I've stated in several of these conversations, if an enemy wants to destroy you, how do he destroy you? He destroy your youth. Get rid of your youth. And this is the key component. Why? Because your youth is the ones that's going to be out. They are the ones that's going to be motivated. You see what just happened in the other state, where the two young black men, they want to get rid of them, because youth don't take no for an answer. And again, I go back to Martin Luther King, when he was when they interviewed him one time, and they said, "Why do you use young people in all your marches? Why do you have young people there?" He said, "One reason I do that is because if you tell young people not to do something, they're going to do it anyway. They're going to do it anyway. We want to have a peaceful march, but we still marching. Why are we still marching? They ain't out there marching. Only time they get out there marching is with what's going on with gay rights and abortion. And we still marching for over, 20, 30 years now? 40, 50? We're still marching. 60? I lose count. We should be able to sit down to the table, even when the court said it's okay. Y'all wasn't using the charter to what y'all had. That at-large system was wrong. It was not right. That's why they changed it to the District 10 system. And we have to start showing up. We get the rights to do things, but we don't show up. Is it a party? Oh, we there. We there if it's a party. It's a picnic. Well, I ain't using that word. If somebody giving away free food, we there. But when it comes to our freedom, I'm busy. I'm tired. I got to go home. That's why they had a city council meeting so early. City council meetings so early because they know you get out about 4 or 5. They have it so that the meeting start if you're there or not. Get there, you may not find no place to park. Then you're upset. But we have to stop making excuses because our youth, our young people are dying in the street every day, every time you turn on the news. And I just can't figure out why there's so much news about negativity. Why is there so much news about negativity? They come on 4:30 in the morning to 7 o'clock in the morning, and all they talk about negativity. Blah, 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 blah. And they can't tell me, well, that's not true. Well, I don't know what station you look at, because I've been studying. I do my research and I do my due diligence. I've been doing this now for almost 10, about 20, 10, 15 years, watching news around the clock. I might get sometimes 3-4 hours of sleep, and I just monitor the news. And who's in the news? Us. We're the most famous people on the planet, Black people in the United States. They say, I'm going to give you what they call 3 minutes of fame. 3 minutes or 15 minutes of fame. Let you be out there. And your 15 minutes of fame is either you go into the hospital, morgue, cemetery, and then buried. Or running away, they chasing you, catch you, mug shots, locked up, court, found guilty, pipeline to prison. We got to do better. And you can't do it if you ain't voting. You can't do it if you ain't at the polls. Why do you think the system is all messed up with Donald Trump? Oh, they rigging it. Now, you can't pay a Black person enough money to go stand in line for no 2-3 hours. Oh, dog. No. And he already been one time? Oh, he's not going back twice. That ain't happening. They can fool some of the people some of the time. They might find one people some of the time. But you're not going to get a bunch of Black folks going stand in the line. Just keep voting. That doesn't happen. That's not the way we work. But we don't like standing around. One young lady did go to jail here, messing with, what's his name? Can't think of his name there. That's why I don't want to, that's why I can't remember it. They finally got rid of him. Y'all went to the polls. But the lady went to jail. I think she's still in jail. What they try to do is split our vote and take our eye off the prize. Now that we have the 10 system vote, not only are Black people showing up, white people are showing up. White people are expressing their opinion on this 10 district. They like it. I've been to 2. I think I went to 2 of them or 3. And the census is that they like this, the way it is. They like the new system. This system is for you and your community to have a voice, because with this, you are voting for the person. The 10 system, the 10-1 system is that you are voting for the person in your neighborhood or community or your district. When it's at large, those people gonna care about the people that bag them. Why is it that it's so expensive to run for a city council seat? Why is it when a Black person runs, hundreds and millions of dollars are spent to keep them from winning? Don't you know the game yet? Haven't you learned the game yet? To keep us out? They know we ain't got deep pockets. They know we do not have deep pockets. So we have to chip in whatever we can. We've been doing it ever since slavery was over. The Reconstruction. That's how they found out how we was getting so rich, how we was building businesses. That's why they bombed Wall Street. Why? Because black people was putting their money in the church. And after they figured out how we was being able to prosper so much, that's when they instituted 501c. So they could control the amount of money that churches get, and they have to report it. It's a hustle. The hustle is to keep you from moving forward. Look at Donald Trump. He didn't want to pay no taxes. He ain't done nothing wrong. And he still ran for president, and he still can run again after they done found all the things that he have done wrong. But if we do it, I know what they did to me. They made me pay $50,000 back. And I want me and my wife together, my first wife, together we won't making $15,000 a year. So when people don't understand, when they want to get rid of you, shut you up, keep you from talking, oh, they're going to do something to you. Especially when you ain't got no money. You just somebody that's in the way. And I like being in the way. That's why I do my talk show. I'm not trying to be professional. I can do that. I got the training. But I'm not talking professionally. I'm talking to the people in my community. As I grew up and listened and watched adults, and if a person, when I know when people would come from New York and visit, and everybody here, you were sitting around talking, and after they leave, she thinks she's so sedity because she went to New York. She works in New York. She's a model, or she got an office job. She must forgot where she came from. And I learned over the years, if you just talk to people here regularly and let them know that you're really, truly concerned about the lives of their lives and their future generation lives, they respect, as they say. That's why I do my comic book called The Real Adventures of Captain85. That's why I came up with that title, because you just got to keep it real with black people, colored people, Negroes, Afro-Americans. We got all kind of names because they don't want you to know if you're the original Hebrews or Israelites, but they'll give you your other name. But if you start talking about that, they don't want to talk to you. Everybody wants to change the subject because we are not black. We are melanated because that's how God created us, out of the soil of the earth. And black women is the only woman that can reproduce any race on the planet. She's the only one that got the Eve gene. We have power, but if you start talking about that power, that's why they do what they do. That's why they want you to speak English. We speak English. We don't even speak our native tongue. What is our native tongue? What is our native language? They make sure you don't know that. But our young people are dying in the street. We have an opportunity to change that perception of our community. People are being elected. They ain't getting elected just by black people voting. What part you don't understand? We can talk about race all we want to, but now a black person in America can win without the white vote. Can't win without a minority vote. If it's Chinese, Filipino, Puerto Rican, when they go behind that curtain, don't nobody know who for. But at the end of the night, it's Donald Trump's sitting room. They rigged the vote. They stole my votes. No, people just changed their mind. They're changing their mind. You got a billionaire telling poor people what to do. Really? And they fall for it. You can't even stay in one. You can't even buy a condo in any of his house, in any of his apartment building. You don't have the money. And poor white people, they get excited because they see him with his own jet. He paid for it with tax dollars. because he didn't pay his taxes. We can't get away with that. And then we sit around after Martin Luther King, Megan Everett, a whole bunch of people marched for us to get the right to vote. Even regular citizens who marched lost their lives so that we can go to the polls for one day and vote for somebody. I have registered people in the past that never voted their whole lives, and they were 60 and 70 years old. When President Obama was running and the mayor Sessoms was running for the mayor of Virginia Beach, people say, I ain't never voted. I don't know who to vote for. I said, well, I can give you a pamphlet. These are the people, or this is who we are supporting, President Obama. And in Virginia Beach City Council for Mayor William Sessom. 31 years, Mayor Orbendorf was the mayor of Virginia Beach. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes effort to let your voice be heard. Working every day, and they trying to take back Social Security from the elderly, and they keep talking about, oh, we ain't trying to do that. Well, why it keep coming up then? Why does it keep coming up? Oh, we ain't trying to mess with Medicaid. Why does it keep coming up? After the Republicans took over one of the houses, they still trying. And the only way they can do that, if you as the people don't register to vote, don't get out to the polls and vote, and let people know, I just didn't register and gonna sit home. I registered because I'm going to the polls if I have to get up early in the morning before I go to work. It ain't but one day. Ain't but one day. And we have to do better by trying to show the public that we truly, truly care about what we are doing, and get to the polls. And don't forget, like I said, this is coming up. There it is on the screen. Monday, April the 17th, 6:30, 8 p.m. at Green Run High. I probably will be there. So I hope to meet you there, or don't meet me there, beat me there. So when I get there, I'm like, oh, so you showed up. I got you. Take a picture. Might do a little video. You all right? I just want to know, because I don't want no trouble. But it's important for us to be able to get to these. These are important. These are very important, to voice your opinion. Just the one time that you go to a meeting and you get 3 minutes, and based upon the decisions of the people at these meetings, we can do away with keep coming up with, we want to go back to the at-large system, which is no win for you. It is no win for us. We cannot tolerate sitting around, as they used to say in old school, put your foot in the ground and find yourself on the outside looking in. We should be tired of being on the outside looking in. And as I told you, I'm always doing my segment thing, and let me move on from that so that people won't get tired. Want to put this picture up there because, the Democratic Party has secured the nomination for Virginia Beach 22nd State Senate District, Senator ANNNOUNCE. Now we got him on the ballot. Now he can run again, but this time for 4 years, and win. Because we ain't no losers in the 757. Only people that lose is the ones that don't get out to the polls. This is time for us to be engaged. It is time for us to get engaged. Senator ANNNOUNCE is doing a great job. but we need more time. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. It all boils down to November. 4 more years. And next week or Tuesday, I'll put the link in there so that you can have the link so that you can donate to his campaign. So you can donate to his campaign. I don't know if I can send it up there now. I'm going to try because I forgot to do it when I was when I was running late to get this information out. It's not letting me do it, but I have it for you Tuesday, to get more information on where you can donate to his campaign. Just stay away from McDonald's for one day or for a couple of weeks while he's running. Say $5, I'm donating it every week, or $20 a month until November. I want to lose weight anyway. So I'm going to donate to the Aaron Rouse campaign. This is what we need to get done. We cannot tolerate losing or going backwards. We ain't going back. So I know I'm in the game to win. And I mean to win. I don't mean to sit around and wait for people. That's why, I don't get paid. I don't get paid for this. But I'm blessed from doing this. Because God looks high. God sits high and looks low. That's what God does. That's what he does. And are you in the game to win? Because I am. We can no longer sit around and tolerate people looking at us, getting our bag, and then telling us we not worthy. If we not worthy, are you sure about that? Are you sure that we not worthy? Because we are. We are worthy. We are very worthy of what we do. Because we have to be able to do our best for our future generation. Young people are depending on us. School kids are depending. Mom, are you voting for Aaron Ross? Mom, are you going to the polls? I want to go. Well, you may not be able to vote, but take them anyway. So they'll know the process, because that's what I did when my kids were growing up. That's what I did. I took my kids to the polls when I was reaching out. But what can I tell people? I can only tell people what I know, what works. What works is we have to do some work. Aaron Ross is the candidate for this time. Our young people are dying in the street. And the people that's been there keeps pussyfooting around. Oh, we don't want to pass no bills. Everybody has a gun. Well, that's the Constitution. But if that's the Constitution, that you can carry a gun, why isn't in the Constitution that a human being have a right to life? So if you're right, you're fighting for abortions for a person that's not yet born, but won't ban weapons that's taking the lives of them when they do get born. It's like you're talking out both sides of your mouth. Oh, you can't have an abortion. I don't care if it's your health. You're not going to have it. You're going to have it. If you die, you just die. But don't that baby have the right to grow up in America, to become an adult, but then you want to kill him because you put him in, once they don't pass, the black community, they don't pass the 3rd grade, they in a special education class. Hello? You in the special education class. That's how they get you. That's why you got to teach, and stop preaching, but teaching. Take that teaching and preaching in you in your house, because that's what I did. Told my kids, you can go see your friends back here about 9 o'clock. No excuses. None. Because once I lock that door, you ain't getting in. You did something wrong, your video games are going to be broken up, or I'm going to give them away to your friend. So then you'll know when you're thinking about going over his house, you're going over there to play your game, your console. It's nothing wrong in being a parent, because the biggest problem is seeing your child in the cemetery. Seeing your child. Teresa Riddick, how you doing? How you doing? It's always a pleasure to know that you're viewing. Welcome to the show. Got in the comments or statements. Hope that you're having a blessed Saturday. But like I try to do with everything I do, is try to keep people informed when they see this, or try to reach out and get this information done. Because if it was just about me, sometimes I'm not doing a show today. I ain't doing nothing but running off at the mouth. But I hope that something that I say spark your opinion, your imagination enough to say, maybe he's right. Maybe I do need to get out to the polls. Maybe I need to know more about Aaron Rouse. He's not in the news committing a crime, because if he committed a crime, baby, you'll know everything about Aaron Rouse. It's time to stop the pipeline to prison. It's time to get these automatic weapons out of our community. This is not a war zone. Why is it a war zone? How many people have to die? And like I tell you every time I do a talk show about this, when in the world did you think you'll see kids 3 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, dead? It is something wrong with the picture. There's an unbalance. They're killing our kids like they're going out turkey hunting. And it ain't always a black man, a white man behind a weapon. It's our own people. We got to stand up and tell them, you either need to stop what you're doing, or the man will know where you're at. And you know what? If you talk to them in the right way, they'll listen to you. Because young black people are scared. They are bullied into doing what they are doing. Who can they turn to? Without somebody say, Larry told me that you had a gun. Instead of them going to Larry and say, yo, there's a problem going on. The rumor has it that you're. If you got a weapon, you better go get it now. Because in the morning, your bag's going to be packed and you're going to be out the door. You can go stay with your friends. You're not hiding at my house. Ain't nobody going to be doing no drive-by my house because you want to be in a gang. All the money y'all spending in bullets ain't free. Y'all just shooting bullets like they free. They cheap. Might be, I don't know. I don't have a weapon, so I don't know, the 18, 20%, 20 cents or 30 cents or $1. Just imagine if you took the money that you got in a gang with all the weapons y'all buy and bullets. Y'all don't open up your own store. Go into business for yourselves. Don't let the enemy sell you a pipe dream. It is time for y'all to recognize the gifts that you got. It's time for y'all to recognize that you are more than worth arguing and fighting. Go to school, get that lesson, man. Get that lesson in. I was in a special education class. I ain't ashamed to say it. Let me take that picture down so you know what I'm talking about. So you are like, oh, you just talking. No, sir, I'm not just talking. I was in a special education class. Took me out of 3rd grade, put me in a special education class. And I stayed there until I was 17. But because of three teachers told me, you're not supposed to be in here. But for whatever reason you're here, if you promise me you'll do the work I give you, I give you my word that I will do my best to get you out of the special education class. And some things I didn't realize, that they had put their career on the line by letting me go to another regular class with other students. But the only difference is they could never put it on my record. My record showed, even today, because I went and got a copy of it, that I have a 3rd grade level education. 3rd grade. And I done worked in all different capacity of jobs and was very successful at what I do. Not just running a nightclub, not just being a DJ, because people are like, oh, you're a DJ. That's no profession. Well, it is today. Because the pioneer work that people like me and others did. But as I had a responsibility, I had children that were born. And I wanted to take care of my children. I'd take any job, work 2, 3 jobs. When I was after I graduated from broadcasting school, I was working the radio station. I worked at the Heartbreak Cafe, Club Royal Blue, for over 8 years, almost 8 years, right? Working 3 to 4 different jobs a night. Because it wasn't my children's responsibility to take care of themselves. It was mine. It wasn't their mother's to be responsible for taking care of our children by herself, because she didn't bring them into the world by herself. How do you look at a child, look him in the eye, and can't give him what they want? Yeah, I know you'd rather go out here and rob and take for somebody that got, but that ain't making no sense. They're in the same boat you in. Then if you go out and do illegal stuff, you ain't going to be there with them. That's why it's called the pipeline to prison. Oh, I'm going to get away with it. Yeah. Look at the cemetery. Look at the cemetery. Or better yet, sit down and think for a moment. Some of your partners or your friends, where are they? The pipeline to prison. They may not even get out, might be there for life. I knew people that was in there for 20 and 30 years. We got to stop painting a picture of, hey, this is great. No, it's not. What's great, if you take your life and make something out of it. That's what you should be telling your children, your grandchildren, your next door neighbor kids. You are more than just a pair of expensive tennis shoes. Your life is more than that. If you can afford it, fine. But don't put your kids in harm's way because they got to look sharp, look good, because the other kids got it. Maybe their family can afford it. But like I told my kids, I can't afford those expensive things. But I can tell you this, I will make sure you look neat and got nice clothing to go to school in. I will make sure if you get good grades, that you will get the things that you want that I can afford. And I made it my business to afford the things that they wanted. Even when I wouldn't buy myself something for years. You might saw me in the club looking dapper. Oh yeah, I ain't got no problem. I was looking dapper for 8, 10, 15 years, wearing the same suits. I ain't got no shame in my game. That's why they got what they call a cleaners. I don't have to be fashionable. I just have to be presentable. I can't afford when I got 6, 7 kids. And I'm going to look better than my kids. Drive expensive cars if we could afford a car. I know one time I had to go to my employee and take a loan out so he could just lend me enough money to get a car. Because I had a car that was, what, 80, 90,000? I turned it back in because I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford it. It's okay to ride around in nice things, wear fancy clothes and jewelry. But the jewelry didn't make me. The jewelry is not going to make you. But what will make you is being responsible, being a responsible citizen in your community, your neighborhood, in your city. I don't have to tell people things about me. When I used to go out, ever since I've been working, and I done been around a lot of professional people and millionaires. And as soon as I say I was in a special education class, they're like, what? You was what? You see the wrinkles in their face. Like, man, I wouldn't tell nobody that. So why not? It's the truth. The Bible said the truth will set you free. If I told them I had graduated from college and I never stepped foot in a college door, how can I tell them something that I never done? I'm not going to lie on myself. But we have people that do. And then when they fall, they wonder why they lost all their friends. Because you were fake. Guess you had fake friends because there ain't nobody standing with you. You have to pick and choose your battles. I love people. I like helping people as much as I can, even when I can't afford it, and even when it costs me more than me working on my own projects. But my spirit tells me to do what I'm sent to do, not what people want me to do. I don't help people because they want me. My spirit said help them. What's within me? Do I get paid? No. But I tell you this, I'm not on their payroll. I'm on God's. You got to pick what payroll you want to be on. I picked God's payroll. I've had money. I've made money. It's where I could take trips and buy luxury things. But you remember the scripture of the rich man that came to Jesus and said, man, I like what you're doing. I want to be a part of your movement. What do I have to do to be part of that movement? And Jesus answered him in this: give all that you have away, and then you can follow me. Hold up. Let me hear what you're saying. I'm rich. I don't have to move if I want something, I say, servant, bring that to me. Servant, go get that for me. But you want me to give all that? Follow you? I can't follow you. You can't. Fortunately, I learned that at an early age. I'm rich, not in money. I got 7 kids. 7. 7 beautiful kids. And about 16 grandkids. 1 or 2 less, maybe more. I'll just keep saying the ones that I think I know. And I got about 2 great grandkids. We can talk all we want to, but God says something different. Count your blessings and name them one by one. After my kids were almost grown, except for the one who's now grown, I was able to go because of medical conditions. I had to stop the nightclubs because of the doctor said if I didn't, I'd be dead. With diabetes, glucose was 768 or 786, one of them. But I know it was 7 something. She said, you don't have to listen to me, but if you don't do what I'm trying to get you to do, you're going to be dead. So it's your choice. I can't make you stop. So I chose to keep on living. And that was in 2003 when I stopped at Picasso's. Then as it began to come down, a couple of years later, 4 years later, I was offered a position at Luxury Brown to take over as general manager. I stayed there to 2009 because of a difference in what I wanted to do, my vision, and the club owner vision. And anything that's negative or it's going to harm my people, because I am Black, I am a father, I'm somebody's son, somebody's uncle, somebody in the community. I was going to I went to resign, but when I got there, I got fired. But it's better because if you fire me, you got to pay me anyway. If I quit or resign, I resign. So you don't have to pay me. But it's never about the money. But in a time of need, I didn't have a job. I didn't have money coming in. I'm not used to borrowing money from people or asking for help. I don't know how to do that. It's very difficult. Everything I do, I work to make the money and invest it in my projects. Because the young people are important to me. God allowed me to have 7 kids. And they all graduated from high school in Virginia Beach, except 2. My daughters graduated from Portsmouth, where I'm from, P-Town. That's my oldest daughter. And my youngest daughter graduated from Norfolk, Virginia. But as I try to explain, that's a blessing to me. From where I came to where I am. I just don't stop. The Bible said, where he leads me, I will follow. I try to follow, which I say is my spirit. Some people might say it's God. Some people might say it's Jesus. I never met neither one. But I know they both did something, and that's the reason I'm here. I came to fight to win. And I will never, never give up on young people. I will never stop advocating for young people because I was once young myself. And it's important to young people to know that somebody cares. I'm always saying, well, you're just trying to make money off young people. What? Now, how many people y'all go out to a club and the man just let you in free and give you free food? How many places you been? Raise your hand, throw some thumbs up. Because ain't nothing free. Yes, I can give you free this. After I done spent $400-500, how am I going to retrieve what I gave away if somebody ain't pitching in? If somebody don't support the businesses that open up? How do you expect Black people, minority people to stay in business if they just said open up the door and come and get it free? I just want to know. I know you don't go to Food Lions, IHOP, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I know you ain't going to Chick-fil-A and get something for free. You got your wallet out. That's what I like. That's what I want. Nothing wrong with that. But what about the brother got the hot dog stand over here, selling hot dogs for $1, staying out there in the sun 8 and 10 hours, just trying to recuperate the money that he put to invest in the hot dog stand? But how about the lady that had a cake shop, baking cakes? Trying to stay in business. How about the soul food restaurant that opened up? Got a good menu. You can almost get the same food for what you pay at McDonald's or Burger King. IHOP. No. I'm going to the other places. Then they close. Don't you know the average Black business, when it opens up, you can open up and it takes you 3 years to make a profit. And if you don't believe me, you got enough Black people around here now that's got businesses. If they don't make it past the 3rd year, it's going to be closed, cutting hours, or filing bankruptcy. But they need your support. We all, when we go do something, I got books coming out. But in order for me to print those books, I got to pay money up front that I don't have. I was thinking about starting a GoFund, but then to me, it's like begging. But everybody's doing it. I mean, you know, why can't I throw my head in the ring for a GoFund? People like, you know, I'll put it up. Nah, no, I'll wait. If you can't see the value in what I'm doing, why do I have to beg someone else to give me money to help your community? Something that might save your child's life, might change his attitude. Because I done did books out of my own pocket, spend thousands of dollars. But I had parents that come back and said, hey, my child read your book and it changed his life. I had people that read the book when they was children come back and say, because of you, I started drawing, creating my own characters. That's important to me. That's why I can't stop. Because I can't save nobody. We got it wrong. I can't save a child, but I know somebody that can. I know somebody that can. My books is to teach you that there is somebody that can change your whole life around if you believe in yourself. The first person that can save anybody is the person you're talking to. He has to want to feel in his heart he wants to change or she wants to change. I can't save you. You can only save yourself. It's a domino effect. So when you start thinking about a change, your spirit is going to start giving you the knowledge and wisdom. Because when you talk about God, you first got to read the book. And then when you read the Bible, you have to pray for wisdom. It's a double-edged sword. You're praying to the Creator. He or she, I don't know, I'm not there. And then when you pray for wisdom. Pray that he give you wisdom of what you read, to see beyond the words on the paper. We are spiritual people until we recognize that the love of the Creator is within us. Heaven is within us. If you read Proverbs, whichever chapter it might be, because I don't read the Bible to remember chapters, I read to remember the words. I'm not quoting Bible or scripture. I'm telling you a story about what I read. That's a story in a book that nobody wants you to read. They want to read it to you. They want to interpret it to you. A preacher can't tell me anything. Why? Because he went to college, got a degree? How can a person go to college tell you anything? He went to college to learn the same thing everybody else is learning. But when you go to God's university and you ask the Creator to give you knowledge, then you pray for wisdom. You'll see the doors opening. You'll see the light within you because it's the wisdom that you need. You can read all day long. You can read 1,000 books. I read a whole lot of different articles, books. I do a lot. Sometimes I can't remember or understand, so I leave it alone. But in my prayers, I pray that I learn the right things to do and say. And then I get the word. So when I go to church, the preacher is preaching. I listen to what he's saying. If he's saying something that he don't even know I've been praying for, if he says something that I read, then I know that God must have told him something. Because how would he know what I needed when he's talking to a congregation? But his words is resonating with me, and I ain't been to church in a month or 2 months. So how do he know what I need? Maybe we serve the same God. I don't serve man. I serve a living God. And if my God is living, and then those that carry the word or the message, they are messengers, you call them preachers, then I will understand what my mission is because he knows me not. He don't know what I'm praying for. I pray for the lives of the future generation, not just my kids. I pray for your kids, that God cover them in the blood of Jesus. And if you don't say in the name of Jesus, I don't know who you're praying to. And you don't either. And you don't either. We're saved by his blood. But I don't come to preach. I just come to give information. That's what I come to do. Yeah, but before I leave, I wanted to do this. I wanted to put this picture up right here. My son sent me this today because he got an award, and that's what the picture's for. And what I try to get people to see is never about me. That's why I do what I do. He made Soldier of the Month. He made Soldier of the Month. One time I didn't want him to go in the military. It was hard for me when he did, because out of all my children, he was the only one I was home with more than all the rest of my kids, because I was always working day and night. 40-some years. I worked nights all my life. Even before I got married, I was working nights. So when my medical condition came about, I was home to be with him. So when it came for him as an adult to, what he wanted to do, he would always ask or tell me. And I said, okay, that's what you want to do. It's positive, so I'm going to support. But I'm proud of him because that's what he wanted to do. Anything that my son right there put his mind to it, he gets it done. And I want the same thing for your kids, for your children, people that I don't even know. It ain't got nothing to do with their colors. I done hired Filipinos, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Africans, gave them jobs. It ain't no race. Everybody needs help. I can only help when I can. It is time for everybody to step up. They're killing kids. They are killing kids. It's great to talk about some things. I'm proud to be able to have my son to go in the military. His brothers and sisters are proud of him. My wife was in the Navy. His mother, his aunt, my daughter was in the Navy. He got cousins that was in the Army. And he got a uncle that was in the Army. He got a great cousin was in World War II. My uncle was in World War II. I tried to go in the military, but during the Vietnam, but I couldn't go. I guess that's why I became Captain 85. I serve my community and the people that live there and the youth. I hope you share this with some people on your social media page. Don't forget, we have a job to do, and it's up to each and every one of us who have kids, nieces and nephews, and families to make sure they live to grow old. Till the next time we meet, till the next time we greet. This is Captain 85. I want to thank you for chiming in.